Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I got a Farming Tales update here for you. In fact, there's multiple updates. Lycos and team went ahead and released actually three announcements today. Some of them are extremely critical, especially for those of you that are relatively new to the game or just really building up your farm. Plus, some cool things that are coming up here in the very near future with a huge collaboration, something that I'm going to look into more here and also in the near future. But so let's go ahead and dive into it with the announcements. Quickly run through those and give you my thoughts on them. First of all, go ahead. I'll have a link in the description down below for the Discord, for Farming Tales Discord, plus my Discord. So go ahead and check both of them out if you haven't already. This is where the announcements come out for Farming Tales. Some of the critical ones that they announced today. First of all, they are currently pushing through and working through the single cell system. This is phase 2 of the product system that we have talked about before. They just gave us a quick update that they are still trying to work through some of the details. But what this will do is, instead of having those individual items in your barn that you sell in bulk, you'll be able to sell them individually. For example, I want to sell all my goose eggs. I can just sell the goose eggs, keep the rest, and be able to move on with my day. Why is that important? There's two reasons that's going to be important here in the near future. With new Waxchester, you are able to craft different items, essentially higher tier items that are worth a whole lot more. So you'll want to hold on to certain materials and then be able to craft that way. The other way is they highlight here are some weekly tasks that'll be down the road. Basically, they are asking you to collect certain items. So these items will give you different rewards weekly on a task. And the other thing that's neat with this is with these individual products systems, you'll be able to sell your products on the secondary market. Now, for example, with hen eggs or goose eggs or milk, they're probably not going to sell for that much. But if you have some of the legendary buildings, like if you sell honey or you're selling lumber or you're selling fish, those things are gonna those things are gonna be pretty good here down the road, especially if there's a lot of weekly tasks that include them, and also if you're looking to craft certain items that require, for example, lumber. It's going to be rare. So those items are going to be you're going to be able to sell those in the secondary market, which is neat. It's another way for us to transact and another layer to the overall game. The other main thing that another thing that they added in here is they are getting very, very close to the first chests of new Waxchester and focusing mostly on the tractor race. But I know very well that there are going to be other mini games that they are currently working through that will be available in New Waxchester. Not sure if they'll be available day one, but they'll be available shortly after. The tractor race is really the first one, and I think it looks like a lot of fun. If you've seen any of the clips around the tractor races, I'm excited for that. That's gonna be fun to test out. And if I get access to that, I'll definitely make sure that I go ahead and do some videos and show you that leading up to the launch. The thing that I also wanted to highlight here is Solana. Solana is going to be a bridge wallet. They're doing this for several reasons. They want to make this accessible on several bridges, or I'm sorry, bridged across several blockchains. For the main reason, we are in a tough bear market right now. So there's only a limited number of people on Wax at the moment. So what they wanted to do is really extend over into another blockchain, and they've talked about Solana for some time now. And to be honest with you, a lot of games are talking about doing some sort of bridge to Solana. That gives you another player base, which gives you more popularity into the game, more entry into the game, and that also adds value to your NFTs. It's always a good idea if you get more people involved. What that also means for those of you that are actually interested and really want to get into this game, it might be a good idea to check it out now. Again, not financial advice, but once they start bridging into other blockchains and start bringing out this new Waxchester, there's a chance that the prices are going to go up. Hint, hint, pure speculation, of course. So do your own research before you jump into any of these. All right. And continuing forward, as I mentioned, the new Accessor is coming up here shortly. And there's also, this is a big one. This is deflationary model. Essentially, what this is saying is they hinted at this in a previous announcement. Crafting animals and buildings in games is about to get more expensive. What they are going to be doing starting on August 1st is they're going to start increasing the cost by 20%. Initially, it's not going to seem too bad, but 3, 4, 5 months down the road, it's going to add up. And I know it sounds like a painful thought, but it's actually a really good thing. It continues to increase the value of NFTs. It continues to limit the NFTs. Uh, a good example of this is castles. What they're doing a similar thing. When they get to a certain point, they're going to go ahead and double the cost of crafting and merging their items. Farming Tales is also going to do that. It's going to really, it's it's going to allow us to not overload or overflow or basically put too many of these items on the market, because currently there are too many items. That's why they added the blending events to upgrade to different rarities, and now they're adding this. They want to stabilize the token, stabilize the overall value of NFTs. It seems like a painful thing now, but I think in the long run it's going to be a very good thing. So make sure, again, if you're looking to get into Farming Tales, you might want to start getting into it now if you're not already into it. So just check that out. And last but not least, I want actually not last. Um, Wanted to tell you about the foraging bees. If you're interested at all getting the real life honey, to go ahead and take a look at the announcement. It is a second announcement down in the real life farming section and the announcements. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I suggest that you read this yourself and reach out if you have any questions. I have not done it, so I hesitate to really tell you all the details because I haven't gone through the process. I don't want to mess it up and make you mess anything up on your side. So go ahead and read this announcement very carefully. It is your chance to get that real world honey. They're in the process of harvesting it or almost going to be harvesting it. They did mention that it's going to be an excellent harvest as far as quality goes. It just may not be from a quantity perspective. So keep an eye on that. They've had a big drought over there in Italy, which has caused some issues with the quantity of the honey. So make sure that you get involved in that if you are interested in real life honey. The last thing I wanted to mention, and this is a very big collaboration news, um, something that I am going to dive into in a lot more detail here in the near future. They have announced their collaboration with the Flame Store. What is the Flame Store? The Flame Store is essentially going to be the Steam of play to earn gaming. If you're at all familiar with Steam, it is a hugely popular store where you can go ahead and get games. What I'm imagining this is, and there's not a ton of details yet, but it's basically going to be a multi-chain um, store where you can go out and buy different things. So they are still in the early development stages. I talked to the CTO earlier today. They're going to have a white paper available end of this week, early next week. So depending on when that comes available, I'm going to do a full separate video on this because I think this is big news. This is another avenue for mainstream gamers to come into play to earn, for us to grow audience, to build out and become a stronger, not just Wax, but all of the blockchains. So this is big news. The fact that Farming Tales is going to be one of the first games on there from Wax. I think Splinterlands is the other one, and there's a few other games that I heard. Still waiting to see the full list, which is going to be coming out here shortly. But big news there that they are one of the first that are going to be on this, which again adds on to why I really like this project, why I push so hard on this project. I know they've had some downtime trying to get new Waxchester up, but they're a solid project with a huge long-term plan, and they are thinking outside the box as far as not just putting a click to earn out there. They are trying to develop a sustainable project. So again, if you have not looked into this project, I strongly suggest that you take a look into it. I'll double check if you are into the project. Make sure you take another look at all these announcements. They are pushing them out pretty quickly. They're getting a lot more active now that we're getting closer to new Waxchester. So I expect a lot more announcements coming out. So keep an eye on the Discord if you're not in there. I hope you all enjoy these kind of videos, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.